Out the field is the 23. Field is set. Green flag is out and underway. We are down into one. Budznya gets a good jump on the field as they roll off of turn number 2. Sleboda settles into the second spot with a battle for third.
Battle for third between LeFort and Johnson heating up as the leaders round turn number 4 and complete lap 1. Budznya sits atop the grid, and Budznya has shown a lot of speed this season, led some laps, has yet to still park it in victory lane. Tonight might be the night, looking good through the first 2.
Off the corner they come, and Richie Johnson trying to get back in victory lane. It has been a few weeks since he's been up there as he tries to work around the 19 of LeFort. LeFort slides up, takes a look to the outside of Sleboda as Meack takes a look down low as they race down into 3 and 4.
Off of 4 they come. Budznya will hang on for the lead. Sam Sleboda trying to use the inside lane. Another 2 drivers now top the field in search of their first wins. Mikey LeFort as well rounding out the podium as the top 5 pigs in a blanket off of 4.
Off the corner they come. Meack still working the inside as LeFort holds off the charges. Down into 1. Sleboda has caught Budznya as they hit turns 1 and 2. Budznya is able to hold on to the top spot as they hit 3 as Johnson and LeFort continue to race side by side.
Off of 4, Johnson and LeFort still door handle to door handle. Johnson, though, sliding up a little bit as we hit lap 5. Sleboda unable to get something going in that bottom lane. Budznya now 2 car lengths of separation between he and the 4 of Sleboda into 3 and off of 4.
Off the corner they come. Johnson backsliding just a little bit. Meack works his way down to the inside as they hit turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, LeFort throws it up high and wide down into turn number 1. Into turn 3 they go, and LeFort is on the move up on the top side.
LeFort a little loose, able to gather it back in, and is now side by side with Sleboda for the second position. Up front, though, it is Budznya still setting the pace by 2 car lengths as Arsenault falls -1 to the leaders.
Into 3 and 4 they go. Top 3 nose to tail. Battle for 4th. Meack has it over the 8 of Johnson as they hit turn number 1. Budznya continues to show the way down through turns 1 and 2. LeFort again trying the outside, trying to get that momentum, but Sleboda is able to keep him at bay down through turn number 3.
Off of 4 they come. Top 3 are single file across the stripe with the battle now for 4th. Heating up between Johnson and Meack, who are nerf bar to nerf bar into 2. Budznya leading the charge into turn 3.
Jacob looking for career win number 1. Sets it off of turn number 4. 10 laps up on the board. Sleboda continues to hound him across the stripe. LeFort trying the high line one more time down into turn number 1. Can't get the run he needs. He tries it again down into turn 3.
Top 3 drivers now are all in search of career win number 1. Meack and Johnson have been there, done that. With the top 5, nose to tail into turn number 2, it is Budznya, the Coventry native, continuing to set the pace.
Hayes is up to 6 now, trying to close in on the top 5 as LeFort again goes to work on that second groove. They come across the stripe. Sleboda down low. Up top is LeFort. LeFort using the high line to get his way towards the top, but a couple of lap cars in front of him as we close in on the halfway. Budznya continues to show up off of turn 4.
Across the start finish line they come, and the battle now is for the second position between Sleboda and LeFort. 2 drivers who have really improved this season. Sleboda has consistently been strong when she runs. LeFort has really made strides in his sophomore Sport 4 season. Sleboda going down low. Budznya shutting the door.
Richie Johnson got tired of the outside. Now he tries the inside of Meack down into turn 1. Gets that 4th position momentarily as they roll down into 3. And in front of them, little by little, working that top lane. LeFort trying to get his way up into victory lane, but he's still working that outside as the 4 of Sleboda sits right underneath.
Sleboda sitting underneath. LeFort now even Steven with Sam into 3 and off of 4. Budznya doing a good job holding firm on that inside lane. Checks the outside, brings it back in as the leaders head down the back straightaway at lap 16.
LeFort had to back off momentarily. He winds it back up down into turn 3. 16, make it 17 laps up on the board as they cross the stripe. Budznya up front barely with Sleboda all over the back bumper. Richie Johnson closing in the gap, makes it a 4-car battle up at the top of the field as they hit turn number 3.
It is 4 cars fighting for 2 positions at lap 18. Budznya, Sleboda go 1 and 2, with LeFort and Johnson rounding out the top 4. LeFort and Johnson even now for the 3rd position. Matera takes a peek down to the inside. Cannot put her dog in the fight as Budznya shuts the door off of 4.
Shuts the door, but got loose doing it, and that opened it back up as Sleboda sneaks a peek down to the inside, down into turn 1. Sleboda this time is able to slam shut that door as they roll down into 3. Budznya up front, loose off of turn 4, throws it hard. Here comes Sleboda back down on the inside.
The leaders are even for the top spot into turn number 2. Sleboda now sliding up, taking the spot away. Johnson takes a peek down low. He might have a run, chooses to back off the throttle. And at lap 21, we have our 2nd leader of the event.
Across the stripe, and Sam tries to put some breathing room between her and the rest of the field. Here comes Richie Johnson down underneath Budznya as they come off at 2, as that car is starting to get looser and looser as the laps wind down. 3 more circuits remain as Sleboda sets the pace and crosses the stripe. Johnson trying to get up into the number 2 spot, but not that time. Yes, barely, by mere inches at the stripe. Down the backstretch into turn 3, Meack trying to work himself up into the top 4s. LeFort sits there with 2 to go.
Sleboda off of 4, twin sticks given, 2 circuits to go, and everything looking good so far for Sam Sleboda. Johnson in 3rd, and a little bit of crossed up action between LeFort and Hayes. They are both able to gather back in with a white flag out this time by.
One more time around, Frankenstein trying to get back into victory lane, sets it down into turn 1. Sam Sleboda leads it off the charge. Richie Johnson trying to make a last lap effort fight into 3 and 4. He's going to run out of time, and Sam Sleboda will find victory lane for the first time this year. 2nd place going to Richie Johnson. 3rd to the 0-1 of Jacob Budznya. Arthur Meack 4th, and Mikey LeFort rounding out the top 5. The outside, but once that spot opened up, you didn't hesitate.
No, I definitely did not hesitate.
What was going through your mind as you sat there? Did you know the race would come to you, or were you just going to settle for 2nd if he didn't get loose?
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to try to take the spot too soon. I was kind of hoping he would mess up. Sorry. But when he got a little loose, I was like, all right, like he ran good, and he had the spot the whole time, so I just kind of waited patiently and took my turn when it was time.
Not bad for 2 weeks out this year. A great run last week before misfortune. A great run this week back in victory lane.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
I know you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, this is my least favorite part because I always forget somebody. First and foremost, my husband, who is not here. The first race he hasn't been to, but.
So that means he's got to stay home from now on, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have to give a huge shout out to, of course, Gil at TTM Motorsports. He, keeps this car going every week. Sharky's powder coating, he's here. Dave is here. Who else? That's 3223 Racing. My mom's company, Bears by Bub. Boss Lady Graphics. And you
Can't forget them.
Of course not. My parents, I don't know if I said them already. My parents, just everybody. I don't know. I'll forget. I'll make a Facebook post later and remember everybody, but thanks, everybody.
Go celebrate. Congratulations. Sam Sleboda, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in victory lane for the very first. Another 2nd place finish, another podium. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's been a pretty good year so far.
Yeah, I'm happy. Just want to keep staying up here on the podium if we can. But it was a great race. Side by side in front of me, so I really didn't have anywhere to go, just kind of following along and filling the hole, so I'll take 2nd. Everyone did a great job. I think we made it start to finish with no caution, so that's a good race.
A lot of people behind you keeping this thing running up front.
Yeah, I got to thank all my friends and family, my girlfriend. I got to thank Maddie Tire, Down Home Fence, It's a Lashless Life, Cornwell Tools, Andrews Family Automotive, Abstract Welding, Lynch and Comboy Insurance, Moonlit Roots, and J Corp Unlimited Excavation.
Great run, 2nd place for Richie Johnson. And Jacob Budznya coming home 3rd. And Jacob, man, it looked like it was going to be a night for a while, and all of a sudden it started getting loose as the race went on.
Yeah, it just kept getting loose towards the end, so I just tried to hold on as much as I could mostly. So, I mean, I'll take the 3rd. It was the first time up here, so.
It's got to feel real good leading all those laps early on. It's got to make you a little more confident going into the rest of the season after this.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure out what to do to try to get a 1st or a 2nd, but we'll take the 3rd and we'll move on to next week.
Let's talk about the people behind you and keeping you going week after week.
I'd like to thank my wife, my father, my daughter, Dawn and Lee, Infinite Designs, and then STS Heating and Cooling.
All right, congratulations. Great run. 3rd place for Jacob Budznya. How about a run?